We're here in Brooksville, Florida, at the home of Induction Solutions. Now, Induction Solutions is one of the great supporters of MotorMania TV, and we got an opportunity to speak with the founder, Steve Johnson. Let's go have a chat with him. We're here today with Steve Johnson from Induction Solutions. Now, Steve and I have known each other back the late 90s, met at the National Streetcar Association, and he's been a great supporter of MotorMania TV, and we certainly appreciate that. And an opportunity to stop by and visit with you and kind of give us an overview of yourself, your background, and how you do things here at Induction Solutions. Now, I know that out of high school, you went to work for a speed shop, and take us from there, from point A to point B.
Like you say, out of high school, I started working in a speed shop, local speed shop in the suburbs of Chicago. It led to an opportunity with the customer. They got me into pro modified and professional racing. I did that for about 4.5, 5 years. And through that relationship with NOS, while I was racing, after the economy caught up and the 5-inch bore center motors came out, I just couldn't afford to keep racing pro mod on my own. I had an opportunity to go to work for NOS and become their race rep. And I worked for them for about 6 years. And during that time, people at Edelbrock came to me. They had a nitrous program. They needed some help there. So I ended up going to work for Edelbrock Corporation. I worked for them for about 6 years. And in the midst of working for both, I was always plumbing manifolds and helping racers and doing things on the side. And that eventually kept growing to the point, really just decided to make it a true business and open the doors of Induction Solutions. And I guess you can kind of say the rest is history from there.
So you moved out of the frozen north, originally from Illinois, outside Chicago, right?
Yep.
And what prompted you? Was there a reason, that you came to Florida?
Age. As I got older, you get tired of snow and cold, and half the year you can't use your pool, you can't go do a lot of those things, and also getting into the business, I knew I could race all year long. I could work with customers all year long in Florida. So I'd always enjoyed the weather down here, and just thought it was a logical move that if I was going to make a commitment to run my own business and really try to grow things, I needed to be somewhere I could do it year round and not have a customer base or an area that potentially might only have 6 months of a season.
Good deal, good deal. So now you've grown, you've been in business. How long have you guys been officially in business?
My wife's always the good one to answer that. If I remember correctly, I think we incorporated in 2006. So from then on, we've really been fortunate because we really went into business in the downfall of the country's economy, and knock on wood, due to great customers, racers, and a lot of hard work, I think we've been able to grow every year since, and we continue again this year, and just feel really fortunate.
Well, and I understand that. I mean, that speaks to you as an individual. If a business can grow in the down times of an economy, then that means trust, relationship, all of those things that help bring new business and keep business with you. That's I tell you, that's incredible. That's really, really good. Especially, I mean, eight years. Beautiful facility. I mean, I know there's some secret stuff that we can't show people, but this is a great facility. One I even envy from my own perspective as a business owner. So.
Yep, and the economy's helped me with that. Again, starting when I started up north, I had a 4-bedroom house, and I used one of the bedrooms was my workshop that I had a couple benches in. I was plumbing manifolds on it, modifying parts and whatnot. And then down here, it was in my 2-car garage initially, and then it grew into a 1,200 square foot area. And luckily, again, with the economy, the industrial park that we're in now, just got a smoking deal on this building. When I walked in the doors and saw how big this place was, I'm like, it's a dream. It's not one I can afford or is going to work for me. And fortunately, the fellow that owns this owns a good part of this park and made us a great deal that we could come in, and we've got 7,000 square feet to our use, and again, just a real fortunate break for us, and we're really starting to consider if we need more space now.
Wow.
Hard to believe.
I tell you, having gone through the shop, and we're gonna do that with, so that the fans and everything can see what the ins and outs of induction, well, at least the parts that we can show them anyways. Because we do, it's like any business, especially when you're involved in power adders, there are certain things that they're trade secrets, and folks, they're gonna understand that you just can't let that stuff out on the streets.
Yep. There's a few things we try to keep under lock and key. The majority of it, I like to share with everybody if we can. Hopefully that gives them a little better idea of what we do, what we're capable of, and knock on wood again, this time of year, you'll see we're pretty busy and feel very fortunate.
Well, good deal. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and walk through the facility, and we'll talk about a variety of the things out there.
Sounds great.
We're out here in the foyer of where you come into Induction Solutions, and of course, I look on the wall here, and this is the Hall of Fame, so to speak. And just kind of walk us through. I mean, there's some evolution here. I mean, you got the NSCA guys over here. There's Dave Rudisell and a few other folks. Just kind of walk us through a little bit of what the memories and stuff out here.
Oh, there's a lot of good memories in here. We actually call it the Wall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
And we try to get people to send in pictures. These are some of them. Like you said, this section here is a lot of where we started with the NSCA. Mustang Mike. A lot of people don't even know that he ever had a nitrous car. Mm-hmm. We helped him win a world championship in, I believe, Limited Street with NSCA. John Belinsky, Bruce Polos. A lot of cars here. Right down to some of our current customers' cars. We've got our own car there that we won Automatic Outlaw, as well as 10.5 with Mike Stravino driving for us, and boats that we've worked with.
Boats?
Yep, boats.
Cool.
The Camaro down there, Ron Rhodes, probably one of the most famed cars there are right now, mm-hmm. running 450s with a conventional headed small block on a 275 radial tire. So we've got a lot of pictures around through the shop. We always welcome customers to send us their pictures. We like to put them up throughout the shop. Helps everybody that works here see what we do and who we help and a lot of those things.
Good deal. You heard him. Send the pictures, guys. Here we are in the Wall of Fame, and absolutely send stuff in. And this is very cool. I mean, when we walked in, I was like, wow, this is definitely the who's who of the people that I watched kind of grow up in this business. So thanks, man. This is great. Let's continue the tour. Okay, we continue the tour, and we have the Induction Solutions swag, which we have some of that at home, and various sizes. And now, you sell it? Do you give some of it away? I mean, kind of, what do you do?
Yes.
Okay. The answer to that is yes.
Pretty much most anybody that does work with us, that we either blueprint and flow a system or we do new systems for, we always try to include a shirt or two with that. A lot of events for promotion, we'll donate shirts. And we also actually are fortunate enough we sell a bunch. We sell a lot on our website each week. I'm kind of surprised, humbling I guess maybe, when people want to buy a shirt. But yeah, the shirts, the sweatshirts. My wife every now and then throws a twist in with lady shirts and things. We've had some hats, some banners, decals, things like that. So, just another way, fortunately, to get our name out there and let people know.
Swag Central at Induction Solutions. There you go. And I see we have, of course, a workstation here and some more office space in through there.
Yeah, basically, Shane, this is Shane's area. A lot of people are starting. He's new with us, been doing a great job. Paul and Katie, they're both in the other room, help us with our sales and, answering the phone calls and whatnot. So
excellent.
Important part of it.
Well, now we're in the business end of things. Not that there's not plenty of work that gets done out there, but in the shop, this is where things happen. Walk us through an item comes in and how you guys handle the routing and everything.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we try to keep a good flow and path of travel to our work. And like you say, basically when it comes in from UPS or FedEx, this is one of the first things that happens to a job is it gets assigned a job number, it gets a clipboard, and that's where we touch base with the customer to find out all the things we've got to do or not do to the job. This is kind of our staging area from here. Myself or Paul will normally either If it's got to go to fabrication to get bungs welded or any sort of fab work done, we'll delegate it over to there. If for some reason it just goes on upstairs, if it's here for blueprint and flow or something like that, then we'll go ahead and take it upstairs to that station. But this is basically where everything starts.
Now, you've mentioned blueprint a couple of different times. Can you kind of fill us in a little bit of what exactly you guys are doing in that, without getting into too many of the...
Yeah, I mean, basically our blueprint and flow is a service that we offer to pretty much any customer with any nitrous system. One of the things we try to do different from a lot of people is we'll work on anybody's product. So a lot of times a guy has a nitrous system maybe from another manufacturer, maybe he's bought it used, maybe he's just not getting the help he wants or is having some sort of trouble. We allow him to send us the system, and that's when the blueprint and flow really goes down. We take the system apart, depending if it's a direct port or a plate system. We basically have a process we go through where we strip everything down, we go through the pieces and parts, we make some modifications to some of them. We freshen the solenoids, put new plungers in the nitrous solenoids. We go through all their lines, fittings, their plates, their nozzles, all those types of things, and check everything out. Once we've prepped all the parts, made the changes that we need to make, we put everything back together, and then most importantly at that point we flow the system. That's where we meter the amount of nitrous the system's passing, and then we'll go and flow the fuel side to get the amount of fuel pounds per hour to create the proper nitrous to fuel ratio that we're looking for. When it's all said and done, it gives us a chance to create a new custom jet mapping where we give the customer nitrous jet, fuel pressure. We help them with their timing and basically then provide them tech support as if they were our system from the start. And that's basically what we do. It's a very common process we do. It's something that keeps us pretty busy.
Well, I can see, and you said you're just getting into your busy season and I see that you said another manifold already came in today while we were here, so
yeah.
You guys, looks like you guys are going to be pretty busy this winter.
Yeah, this is a pretty good start, and we'll see some more as we go through process.
Excellent. Okay, so now this is where the work starts, correct?
Yeah, from the processing area, this is a very common next stop, what we call our fab area, fabrication. You can see these manifolds here. Some of them already have bungs welded in, some have holes poked in them, some are waiting to get holes. One of them's already roughed out for a Punisher system. So this is where the fabrication work starts. This is where we do all of our welding. You can see the mills, the lathes, and then over here to the left we've got a grinding bench that basically after we weld the bungs in the manifold, we'll go back in and we'll grind the bungs down, sand roll them, and basically try to blend back to the customer's port in his manifold. And basically once everything's done here in the fabrication area, the manifolds are typically sanded, cleaned for final assembly, and then washed and prepped and then taken upstairs.
To the magic room.
To where the magic starts.
Where the magic starts. Wow, I see. That's, you would have never thought there was this much involved when you start talking about lathes and all of the tooling. And I have a friend of mine who owns a shop out in Oklahoma, just an automotive shop, and he loves to do, well, he's a hot rodder, that's how I met him. And it's really interesting to watch how some of this stuff evolves. And you wouldn't think about it, that you would need all of that stuff, but obviously you do, and you use it a lot.
Yeah, it's what helps you do the job right. It's funny because I've had several people be surprised at the machines we have, but again, to do the job right, you see we have 2 different welders. We have a couple different mills. The little lathe my dad's working on right now, our plenum systems we refer to as our Punisher. That's what he's doing right now. It's a handmade internal plenum system for a sheet metal manifold, and that's part of the process for the bars that we make that go in the manifold. We turn them down, machine them, drill them, tap them, and again, part of the fabrication before they finally get welded into the manifold.
Very cool. I'm impressed, man. I really am. I love this stuff just because I'm a hot rodder, but when you start to, I'm a nuts and bolts guy.
Yeah.
The technical background is one of those things that I've always kind of, sometimes it gets you in trouble because you want to know too much, or I don't know, and then you spend more money than you probably should, and well, you know how that is. Having your own hot rod and all of that. Good deal.
Yep.
Well, we have moved upstairs to the second floor where it's much cooler. And this is, well, the secret room is over there. But tell us what goes on upstairs here on the second floor.
Basically, after everything's finished in fabrication or been delegated to come upstairs, you can see the shelf here. These are jobs that you can see are waiting to be plumbed, are waiting to be flowed. There's a couple where blueprint and flowing, some miscellaneous systems. One manifold's been sent out to get polished and powder coated. So that's our staging area. From there, it comes over. Johnny's working on this manifold here. We're adding a system to it. And on this other table is actually a system that's been sent in, it looks like, for a blueprint and flow. It was another manufacturer's parts. But typically we've got 2 or 3 guys up here working on plumbing, the blueprint and flows. That back corner section, my son does a lot of our assembly. We put our own nozzles together, distribution blocks, our tubes for our nozzles. And a lot of those small parts, my son does those and does that prep, and that's kind of his section that we lock him in every now and then. Once all the plumbing's done, you can see this bench here with the battery on it. That's basically we do all of our electrical when we wire the systems. We test them with the battery to make sure we got function there. And then from there they go back to the shelf that's sitting back there with the plates on it. And that's our staging area to go into the flow room. And basically from there it goes behind closed doors, and that's where we actually do the flowing to measure our nitrous pounds per hour, fuel pounds per hour, create our nitrous to fuel ratios, and really look at the function of the system. A lot of people ask about the flowing, and they'll ask, what do you mean you're flowing the system? And I'll tell them it's kind of like dyno in an engine. Mm-hmm. We're seeing what the power potential is. We're checking for leaks, problems like that. We check the voltage and amperage on the solenoids. There's quite a few things that we do back there that just help evolve the tune-ups and how we set the system up for the customer.
Good deal. Excellent. Well, I tell you, I guess you call this the clean room, huh?
Yeah, this is our clean room.
Very good.
It's nice part about it is, even though it's middle of December down here, it's still 80+ degrees, so this is a good zone because it's air conditioned and cooled up here too. Excellent.
Good deal. Okay, well, you guys have a ton of parts downstairs. I mean, I know I look at the bins up here with the jets and everything, and of course all the plumbing that goes on up here, but I know that you've got a bunch of parts downstairs. Let's go down and take a look at that stuff.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, before we go and look at the parts, the shipping is the next thing.
Yep. Once everything's flowed and finalized from upstairs, it comes downstairs. You can see on the shelf in the back there's a few manifolds that are already completed. We're waiting to go out. Another thing that continues to grow for us is just our part sales. This shelf over here is our staging for FedEx. These are just some orders that we've gotten placed already today that we're trying to get packed up. Again, Katie and Shane, a lot of people have talked to. They're the 2 main ones for our parts and our shipping and receiving. Shane's working on an order now, it looks like. We've got a big order there that we're putting together. Australia, we're getting a lot of business from Australia. That's probably one of our strongest overseas countries we're doing business with. And again, a couple manifolds and jobs sitting here on the table waiting for final payment or processing and paperwork and those things. We'll kind of get them boxed up and get them heading out of here.
Good deal. Well, is there a lot of things that you have to go through to ship stuff? I mean, I know to Canada and stuff like that, but as far as going to Australia, I mean, is there a big deal that you have to go through with customs and all that, or is that pretty straightforward, or what have you?
The good part is I don't know.
Okay.
Actually,
not your department.
It's not that bad anymore. Again, Shane and Katie pretty much take care of all of our shipping, and FedEx is who we commonly work with. They've made things easier. Some of the shippers have made things easier. So there's always some little hoops you got to jump through now and then, but we'll take it. Whatever we've got to do to serve. We've got customers in pretty much everywhere. We've done a lot in the Middle East. We've got some guys from Sweden, Germany, Iceland, Australia, South Africa.
Wow, Iceland.
Yeah, I've got some. Sweden. Yeah, Sweden. All over. Yeah. So, and every place is a little bit different on how things get handled. We actually had a guy that was here for the Orlando race, and him and his wife and his son came over. They picked some parts up. So they were from Denmark, I believe.
Wow.
So
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, our viewership is worldwide, and when you start naming off Sweden and Australia, and Denmark and all of these different countries, and we have viewership from those various places. So that's excellent. That's really great. Okay, now let's go talk about the parts.
Sounds good.
Now, I've heard you talk about water injection a few times, and you said that's kind of a new business that you guys have gotten into. Explain a little bit about water injection and what are the performance advantages, I guess is probably the best way to put it.
I mean, one of the biggest things that we like about it is it gives some guys some more durability. A lot of these single stage classes where they're putting large amounts, 600 plus horsepower worth of nitrous, you get into some of these, especially the small block combinations that are very timing sensitive. In a nutshell, the water injection gives us a little more of a cushion to work with on their tune-up. Helps them with the safety. Power-wise, it'll give them the ability to possibly spray the thing a little harder because, it'll help you with your timing. You get into, like when we raced in Georgia, the air was pretty good, or you went to Holly Springs, there was no humidity. Right. You can create your own humidity, so it's something that we've been working with for a while. We're just starting to get out on more cars. It's doing a really great job, and something that guys are going to hear more and more about this next year.
Good deal. Well, we are standing in what I'm going to call Part Central. Now, this is one aisle of, I think, about 3 of all of the, 6, okay, of all the various things. And, of course, plates for solenoids and, of course, all of the plumbing that goes on there. And when I look through the bins and solenoids and just everything, and I see lots of money.
Yeah, we keep a big inventory. It's something that, again, we're not really known for, I don't think, yet, is our parts. And again, you can see the sales over there are starting to get better. We stock a lot of stuff, whether it's solenoids, replacement parts for solenoids. You can see these are all coils. These are plunger repair kits. Pretty much anything a guy needs for a nitrous system, we probably have it, and we probably keep it in stock. One of my pet peeves is to run out of stock. That's again why we have the volume of parts that we do. It's funny, I look at this and I think it doesn't seem like there's that much until my wife tells me what we have in here. Our pressure gauges, our flow tools, the quarter turn valves for in the cars, the nitrous pressure gauges, like you said, the solenoid brackets. These are a lot of things we have manufactured ourselves. Fittings, we've got probably $100,000 worth of fittings.
And you said this is something special that you guys milled for someone?
Yeah, that was a project that we were working on. We do a lot of custom things, and you can see that's just something we were trying for a class with certain rules and restrictions that we made. They just happened to be laying out here.
Good deal. See.
Progressive controllers. We keep a lot of those in stock. Plate systems, nitrous systems, all the miscellaneous fittings guys need.
And a whole gross of AN fittings.
Yeah, the AN fittings is what we refer to as Woody's Plumbing, and really that's just an evolution of, because of what we do and the fittings that we use. My wife and one of the gals that works for us was talking, why don't we sell this stuff? So we built a big inventory of it, and again, pretty much we try to stock as many fittings as we can. If for some reason somebody orders something we don't have, we always order extra so it'll be here the next time. We keep a lot of stainless steel hose, a lot of the black fabric hose. We have some of the push lock hose. We're able to make all of your own high pressure Teflon stainless steel nitrous lines. We make all that in-house. So realistically, anybody looking for parts, I'll be surprised if we couldn't help them.
Excellent. Now, what are the black cases? Those kind of stuck out, and what exactly are those?
Those are actually a heavy foam line case that we sell with our flow tools.
Okay.
A flow tool is one of the most important tuning tools to a nitrous system, consistently measuring your fuel pressure and accurately measuring the fuel pressure. So when you've got a nice quality gauge, you want to protect it. And that's basically what we sell our flow tools in most commonly, is you can open that case, you can put them in, and it'll compress, and it'll be in a dense foam, so it's protected.
Excellent. Good deal. Well, I don't even want to think about what the money is involved in this, but I know, just looking at the brass, that I know that stuff is not cheap. So.
Yep, that's another thing again that we keep a lot of. Like I say, the brass fittings, we get a bunch of our fittings nickel plated. Gives them a little nicer finish. They actually work better in the aluminum fittings that in places that a lot of people put them. So we really try to pay attention to detail and keep everything as top-notch as we can.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, this has been the behind-the-scenes look that I think a lot of people, myself included, had no idea of everything that transpires when they call Steve up and say, hey man, help me out here, okay? Steve, I want to thank you for your time today, and it's fascinating stuff. It really is. I've never been a power adder guy. I've always been an index bracket guy. So, you know, but I know a lot of those guys are now even doing the power stuff, so power adder stuff. But I want to thank you for your time. Great shop, and we look forward to working with you guys more in the future.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to the future rolling forward with MotorMania. All the broadcasts, all the races out there. You know, we try to be involved in as many as we can and try to give back to the racers that are, you know, helping us grow and trying to return. And as we get bigger, we're going to keep trying, you know, to put everything back out there that we can. So we appreciate you coming by. I know you were at the race all weekend and want to get home, I'm sure. And appreciate you taking the time to come by.
Well, you've been a constant supporter and consistent in working with us and helping us out, and we appreciate that. And when Marina called the other day, or actually emailed me and said, hey, what do you think? And it's like, you know what, that would be cool. It's right on the way home, and it's not going to take that much time. And besides that, we got to eat some great lunch today. So anyways, alrighty. Well, guys, that's going to finish us up on this sponsor spotlight. I think that's what we're going to call these things. We haven't even got a name yet. But anyways, again, my thanks to Steve and the rest of the staff here at Induction Solutions. And we'll be talking to you real soon.